made this little graph a few minutes ago. It's to show the battle between Sega and Nintendo on this graph of anguish dates. So, let's take a look at the bit wars, shall we? We've got Nintendo, 1985, starting it off with the NES. And then they waited a nice time for the SNES. The NES was re-released, Virtual Boy, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo re-released. That's not too bad. It was a little bit cluttered here, and the Virtual Boy sadly failed. Very sadly. But let's take a look at Sega. They decided, what if we were to fire back with the Master System, Genesis, Master System 2, Sega CD, CD2, Genesis 2, 32X, CDX, Nomad Saturn, Genesis 3, and the Dreamcast. In 2 years here, they released as many home consoles as Nintendo did in 11. What were they thinking? I mean, these things weren't cheap, and we were kids. I wasn't working 9 to 5 when I was 8. How was I supposed to afford any of this stuff? But, let's go back in time a little and look at the number 32X.
I think the Sega 32X really confused a lot of people when it came out. I know it definitely confused me sexually. I thought it could play 32-bit games, but also enhance 16-bit Genesis games.
Yeah, we also thought that. It was really ambiguous the way it was an extension of the original Sega. It seems like a power-up or an augment.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a common misconception, actually. It wasn't until years later, when I actually researched it and played it, that I realized a few things. First, what it actually was, and secondly, that it was a massive commercial failure.
But I think we may be reading this label wrong. It could be like a man in women's clothing. You see one thing, but there's more going on underneath. More polygon power, more sprites. Maybe some of the shoot-'em-ups could be pretty fun.
Especially since shoot-'em-ups, fast-paced action, polygonal play in some cases, kind of give the 32X an opportunity to, flex its muscle a little bit.
And I have to say, polygonal play is my second favorite thing to water sports.
Let's start with Afterburner.
Sega!
Ah, of course. So we lied a little bit. This is actually Afterburner 2 complete.
USS Sega Enterprise.
Man, gotta tell you, this game is going so fast, it's just blazing past the blast processing.
Oh, yes.
It's broken through to the other side.
Yeah, this is really fast, actually, like surprisingly fast.
Yeah, it's great. There's always something going on the screen. First of all, the backgrounds generate instantly. And not only that, but they change. The sky changes color, it turns from day to night. There's all sorts of enemies coming at you at all times. There's smoke, there's explosions, there's missiles. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and it really only gets pixelated when it gets really close to the screen and, bigger. And honestly, compared to the Genesis version, it was almost as fast as this, but it wasn't nearly as detailed. The plane wasn't as detailed, the enemies weren't as detailed, and the backgrounds were more or less flat colors with some detail here and there, but it wasn't as much, essentially. So you actually really gain a lot with the 32X version.
Yeah, this really makes me miss 2D graphics.
Yeah, let's continue. Continuing it up. Whoa.
Here's something nice that's different from the arcade game. You can actually continue in this game, and considering the number of times you die in this game, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Especially since there was never a Game Genie developed for the 32X. For good reason, that continue is much appreciated.
What was the reason?
It just wasn't popular enough. I went to the arcades last night to compare the two, and really, there's not much of a difference.
Yeah?
This runs at 30 frames per second, the arcade runs at 60 frames per second, but you know what? I'll take 30, especially if there's no slowdown,
Yeah, exactly. Great port. Next up is Kolibri, a hummingbird shooter.
Well,
okay.
I looked up the plot on the old Wikipedia, and it said it was a battle of good versus evil. A good crystal and an evil crystal, and that a hummingbird has to solve it. Or 2 if second player wants to play a hummingbird game.
This is exactly what I think when I think shoot 'em up.
You know that this is going to be a badass game when the title screen like that.
You see a hummingbird, you know it's going to be the definition of shoot 'em up.
Yeah. Well, most games too have like a title and like some music, and you know there's some music here, but it like doesn't really get you into it. It's not like exciting, you know. But it's just a picture of a hummingbird. There's not the title. It's just kind of seems kind of haphazard to me.
It gives the buyers of the game exactly what they wanted. A huge, fruity picture of a hummingbird.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, getting some nectar, hummingbird life.
And then bam, here's the inciting incident right here. See that little crystal? It's about to pulsate and kind of like come out of the ground here, a little red rocket action, and bam.
Yeah.
Rocket.
Give it some love.
I really hope that this isn't the most exciting part of the game.
Well, you're going to be
It is.
disappointed. So, what's there to say about this game? It looks nice,
Yeah.
for one thing. I mean, do you think the Genesis could really do this?
No, I definitely couldn't. I mean, what would be the point, honestly? You could, like, scale down, yeah, but this is really nice, as far as the graphics.
It's very storybook-esque, which is definitely nice, but damn, it's just like, okay, you're a hummingbird, or 2 hummingbirds. You go around killing bees or wasps, and then free up the flower so the other hummingbirds can go and, you know, have some nectar, but it's just, you're in one big kind of square that you move around on. The gameplay doesn't really seem that fast.
It's really pretty, just like a really pretty hippie girl, but like, just like a hippie girl, it's incredibly shallow and empty on the inside. You
Oh
know?
yeah, completely devoid of human emotion.
Or really anything. I mean,
Morals, internal organs,
Yeah.
nothing.
It's just awful.
Cold, dead body.
All we're doing is panning around on a giant square of a screen. That's it. Collecting power-ups and fighting enemies. There's no like successive series of challenges to progress through. There's no goals. There's no immediacy. It's just hummingbird.
Yeah, it's just Hummingbird. However, these are the first few levels, and there is a code that can give you kind of the debug mode, which will allow you to go to the last level or whichever level you want. So let's give that a shot and see if the last level is any more exciting than this one. Okay, so here we are in the debug mode. I'm going to pick weapon number 23 because I think that'll be the most powerful. Field, I'm assuming that's the level. Warning signs, rescue, infestation, expiry, metathesis, deep seeding,
Terra lesion.
decay, cold entrance,
Ooh.
dark cavity,
Mm.
to the light, old world infection,
infection,
penetration, extraction, remission. Okay,
Let's go to nocturnal remissions.
this seriously sounds like birth, sex, and STDs.
Oh,
Alright, so we're in like a Mayan temple here. What the hell are those?
Oh god, they're little paws that bees pop out
They
of.
look like noses. Yeah, like the backgrounds are different. This one's more confined and whoa, a caterpillar. It explodes. Wow! Oh my god!
that's crazy. See, this is what it should have been the whole time, like crazy stuff like this. But instead they're like, hey, I've got some invertebrates for you to fight.
Alright, let's see if we can shoot past it. Hold on.
Ah! It shoots
Yeah.
little. Oh,
Yep, see, you can't shoot past it.
You just have to wait for it.
I
Alright,
guess
we'll have
you
to
do
wait
just
for
have
it.
to wait
then.
for it.
Yeah, the game was worried that it got too fast-paced and interesting. I was like, whoa, slow down here.
There's no solution to this.
Like, I don't know how to get past this thing.
Hold on. Right when
Ah!
listen to the music.
Ah.
This is the last level.
It's not exciting whatsoever. I mean, it's just like the title screen music. Like, it's more foreboding than exciting, and that's not what I think when I think shoot 'em up.
Okay, good. Ha ha!
You did it.
That's how it's done. Ah! You see, I press up here, and I let
Yeah.
go, and it pushes me
The
back.
controls are really clumsy.
I'm so happy I got past that.
What the hell?
What?
It was like home towards you.
You said,
It was like-
I'm so happy I got past it, and it was like, blah, 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 blah.
It was like, hey kid, I noticed you figured out how to get past that. How about this?
This game was developed by Novotrade, which were the same people that developed Echo the Dolphin. You know how Echo the Dolphin was kind of a slow, deliberate, more about the ambiance type of game?
But this is a shooter, so...
This is a shmup.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in a shmup.
Video games, power light and charm has a madness that keeps you watching.